Happy Valentine's Day, my friends! Since I know how much you enjoy my crochet videos, I decided as my Valentine's Day gift to you to do a crochet heart halter top tutorial. Now, I must admit that crocheting this is actually pretty difficult. Therefore, I would suggest this project for those who have a solid understanding of how to crochet and improvise and make adjustments on the spot. I'm a rather experienced crocheter and it took me a number of times to get it right, and I'm actually still not 100% satisfied with the shape of the heart, but it was as close as I can get, and I wanted to put this video out for you, so I decided to post it anyway so you could at least have an idea of how to make it, and then you can go ahead and perfect it on your own. I didn't follow a pattern, I just sat down, started crocheting, and trying to figure out how I was going to make this heart shape. So I'm sorry if it's not very fluid and easy to follow, but I am going to try my best to explain to you what I did so you can also make this heart-shaped halter top. Okay, now let's start the tutorial. I'm using this maroon burgundy colored yarn from Impeccable, and it's 100% polyester. I'm also using a 5mm sized hook. The first thing I did was create a slip knot, and then I chained enough chains to cover the front part of my torso, so make sure that you create enough chains to cover your entire front side of your ribs. This is going to serve as the base. After you've created your chain, you're going to crochet your first row using single crochet, and you're actually going to use single crochet for the entire project. And if you don't remember what single crochet is, it is putting your hook through the stitch, wrapping the yarn around your hook, pulling it back through the stitch, wrapping your yarn around the hook again, and then bringing that through both loops. So you're going to do that all across your chain, and it should look something like this. And once you reach the end, you're going to chain one, flip it over, and then start your next row using single crochet again. And you're just going to continue doing this over and over again, making many rows until you are satisfied with the size of the base. So this is going to serve as the part that covers the middle of your breast down to the edge of your ribs. So basically this rectangular piece that you're making is going to be the part right before that indent right next to my armpit before we start making that halter shape. So right now we're just focusing on creating a square shaped piece. Well, more like a rectangle, sorry, I don't want to confuse you. So if you want your top longer than mine, create more rows. If you want your top to be shorter than mine, then create less rows. It's personal preference, just line it up against the middle of your breast and then see how far it goes down. If you're happy with how much it covers, then you'll be done. But if you want it to be longer, then create more rows. I wanted mine to just cover my ribs, so I created about 23 rows. And then after that, I started working on the haltered part. So to create the halter part of the piece, you're going to end it like normal, except you're going to stop chaining one when you get to the end. So you're just going to do a normal crochet when you flip it over. And then you're going to skip one. So every time you get to the end, you're going to repeat this step. So by not chaining one, you're making the piece pull in, and then by skipping a stitch, you're making it give it more of a triangular shape. You're only going to do this for a couple of rows, just enough so that when you put this garment against your body, it covers your breasts. For me, I only had to do about 5 rows of this since I'm so flat-chested. Okay, after that it starts getting tricky. Now you're only going to crochet on one half of the garment. So you're just going to totally ignore that you have the other half of the piece, and you're just going to crochet on one side. And if you don't know where the middle is, just go ahead and fold the garment and mark where the middle is, and then single crochet to that spot, stop, and then single crochet back. And at this point, every time you reach the end of a row, you're still going to not chain one and skip that first stitch, because you still want to be creating that halter shape, and then also you want to make your heart shape. So by creating this, you're working on the bottom of your heart. See, right here? That's the bottom of your heart. Well, one half of it. And once you're happy with the size of the bottom of your heart and you want to start creating that rounded shape, now you're going to start chaining one once you get to the end of your row, and then just single crocheting like normal. You're going to start making a rectangular shape now, so you're going to stop doing the halter shape. And when you lay it down, it should look something like this. This is the bottom part where we just did the rectangular. This is where we started doing the halter shape, and this is when we start doing the half. And this point, I wanted it to start curving in, so I started doing the rectangular shape again. And you're going to continue crocheting this rectangular shape until when you put the garment against you, it has reached your collarbone. Now we're going to start working on the other side, and what I like to do is slip stitch my way down to where I want to be working. And a slip stitch is just putting your hook through the stitch, wrapping the yarn around the hook, and then bringing it back through the stitch as well as through the loop on your hook. So I'm just slip stitching all the way down to where I want the point of the heart to be. And once I reach that point, I'm going to start single crocheting instead of slip stitching. Okay, so I reached the stitch where I want my heart point to be, right here. So now I'm going to start single crocheting on this half and do the exact same thing that I did on the other side on this side. So for the first few rows, I'm going to be creating that halter shape. So what you're going to want to do is not chain one every time you reach to the end of the row, and then skip that one stitch. So you're going to do that until you've done as many rows as you did on the other side. If you need to check, all you have to do is fold your garment in half and see your progress. When the halter part of the top lines up, then you're going to start doing the rectangular portion of it, and then you're also going to fold it in half and make sure that those line up as well. So once you've done the exact same thing on both sides and they're even, you're going to need to create the top of the heart. And to do that, you simply create a chain that links one side to the other. So once you've created a chain long enough to link both sides, you're going to attach that chain to the other side by simply creating a slip stitch. And now that they are attached, you're going to start single crocheting so that you're working on the inside of the garment. So what I had to do is flip the garment over so that it was easier for me to work on the inside of the garment, like this. So you single crochet all across your chain, and then once you reach the end, make sure that you also single crochet on the walls of your garment so that you're attaching what you created right here. And then once you single crocheted on the walls of your garment, you're just going to flip it over and create another row. So it should look something like this, and you're going to be crocheting left and right, just right there. And this is going to be the part right before your heart curves in. So this is going to be those couple of rows that are right under your collarbone. And once you've created 5 or 6 rows of this, you're going to start making that little curve of the heart. So you're only going to single crochet to the middle, and once you reach the middle, you're going to decide where you want your curve to be, and then you're only going to crochet on that area. So go to the middle, and then those 4 stitches in the middle, you're going to single crochet only on those 4, and then when you flip it over, you're going to skip 1, and then crochet on only 3 stitches, and then when you flip it over, you're going to skip 1, crochet only 2 stitches, and then when you flip it over, you're going to skip 1 and crochet only 1 stitch. By doing this, you're going to create a little triangle, and that little triangle is going to serve as the little arch to your heart. And this is what it should look like after you've created your little triangle. And after you've created your heart shape, you're going to slip stitch all around. And by slip stitching all around, it's going to be a more defined heart. And once you're done, you're going to cut off the yarn that's attached to the yarn ball, and then bring the edge of that yarn through the very last loop. Give it a tug and then cut off the excess. Now all you need to do is create your straps. And to create your straps, simply grab your yarn and attach it to where you want your strap to be. I attach it like this. I bring the yarn through the stitch I want my strap to be, and then I tie a knot, and then I tie a second knot after that. Then I create a slip knot out of that, single crochet 1 to secure it, and then create a chain of about 40 to serve as my strap. Then I do the exact same thing to the other side. After you've completed both of them, you are done with the neck straps, and now it's time to move on to the back straps. So you're going to decide where you want your strap to be by simply putting the garment against you and then figuring out where you want your strap to be. And you're going to attach your yarn just as I did for the neck straps by pulling the yarn through and then creating 2 knots and then creating a slip knot, and then you chain a very, very long chain. I think I chained 110 chains for this strap. And after you're done with this very long chain, you're going to attach it 3 times. You're going to attach it in such a manner that resembles lacing shoes, where you attach the strap that starts from the top all the way to the other side in the middle, and then you go back to the original side and attach it at the bottom. And then you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I know it looks complicated, but it's actually very simple, and I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so you have this really long chain at the top of your rectangular shape, and then you're going to go to the other side of the top, and you're going to figure out where the middle is. And I do that by folding it in half and then figuring out where it is in the middle. And once I do, I stick my hook through the stitch that's in the middle, and then I grab my chain and pull it through. And then I'm going to grab the chain and bring it towards the other side, towards the bottom of the garment. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I created a chain on the top left, I attached it to the middle of the right side of the top, and then I attached it again to the bottom of the left. And after you're done attaching it to the bottom, it should look something like this. And now you're going to repeat the exact same steps on the other side. So you're going to create a chain from here, and then attach it to the middle, and then attach it to the bottom. And after you've attached your second strap, it should look something like this. This is where I attached it, the first one. And then this is where I attached the second one. Here, here, and here. And after you're done with the back strap, you are done with the garment. Congratulations! I know there were a lot of steps and it was pretty confusing, but if you are determined to do this, then you definitely will. It will just take many tries and probably many hours to complete. But hey, at least you have an idea of how to make it, so it's a little easier for you. At least you won't be crocheting and unraveling, trying to figure out how in the world you're going to make this heart. Like I did. I think I spent 4 hours on this project. Just know that crocheting, just like anything, takes a lot of hard work and practice, but I believe that you can do it. Thank you so much for being so kind and supportive and loving crochet. Be sure to click that red subscribe button so I can see you next time. Bye!